The unlikely protector. Sergeant Maya Chen stood at the edge of Defense Outpost 17, the last functional military installation in what used to be the North American Eastern Seaboard. She absently rubbed the scar that ran from her left temple to her jaw, a permanent reminder of the day the Galaxians first arrived. 3 years of war had reduced Earth's once sprawling cities to ruins. 3 years since humanity learned they were not alone in the universe, and that some of their cosmic neighbors were anything but friendly. The evening sky glowed an unnatural purple, aftermath of the atmospheric changes caused by Galaxian bombardment. Maya adjusted her pulse rifle and scanned the horizon through her tactical visor. Nothing moved across the wasteland except dust and debris carried by the toxic wind. She'd been stationed at this forgotten outpost for 8 months now, one of only 12 soldiers left to guard what military command called critical infrastructure. What was so critical about this place? No one had bothered to tell her. Her comm unit crackled. Sergeant Chen. Status report. The voice belonged to Captain Reynolds, the only officer left at the outpost. All clear, sir, Maya responded mechanically. Nothing but ghosts out here. Complete your perimeter check and return to base. Storm front moving in. Maya acknowledged the order and continued her patrol. The outpost was built into the side of a mountain, partially underground, one of the reasons it had survived the initial attacks. Her boots crunched against the scorched earth as she moved along the eastern boundary, where the defense shield generators hummed quietly. That's when she saw it, a disturbance in the rubble near the old highway. Something moved. Maya raised her rifle, switching to thermal vision. Most Galaxian warriors ran hot, their body temperature nearly double that of humans, but the heat signature she detected was faint, barely registering. Protocol dictated immediate reporting of any anomalies. The Galaxians had deployed bioweapons disguised as injured civilians before. Maya should call for backup. Instead, she found herself moving cautiously toward the disturbance, driven by something she couldn't explain. Behind a collapsed concrete barrier, she found the source, a small, trembling figure no larger than a human child. It wasn't human, though. Its skin was a pale lavender, with delicate patterns that seemed to shimmer. 2 large, opalescent eyes stared up at Maya in terror. The creature was obviously injured, purplish blood seeping from a wound on its side. "What the hell are you?" Maya whispered. The creature wasn't Galaxian. They were massive reptilian beings with armored exoskeletons. This was something else entirely. Maya had never seen this species in any of the military briefings. The alien child. Maya instinctively thought of it as a child, tried to scramble away, but collapsed with a soft, pained sound. Maya's comm unit buzzed again. "Sergeant Chen, you've deviated from patrol route. Report." Her finger hovered over the response button. Every bit of her training told her to report the alien immediately. Unknown species were to be contained and studied, but something in those frightened eyes stopped her. "Checking a structural anomaly in the shield perimeter, sir," she lied. "Appears to be caused by debris. Returning to patrol." "Acknowledge." "Hurry up, that storm's accelerating." Maya looked back at the alien child. She made a decision that would change everything. "I must be out of my mind," she muttered, slinging her rifle and crouching down. "I'm not going to hurt you," she said slowly, knowing the creature probably couldn't understand. To her surprise, a voice echoed in her head, not heard with her ears, but felt within her mind. Danger. Pain. Help. Maya nearly fell backward. "You're telepathic." The alien's eyes widened slightly. "Understand me?" "Yes," Maya replied cautiously. "Are you?" "Communicating directly into my mind." "Yes. My people. Speak this way." Maya glanced at the darkening sky. The toxic storm would hit within minutes, and neither of them would survive exposure. "I'm going to help you, but we need to move now." The alien tried to stand but couldn't. Without hesitation, Maya removed her outer jacket and carefully wrapped it around the small creature before lifting it into her arms. It weighed almost nothing, like holding a bird. "Why help?" The thought was tinged with confusion and suspicion. "Good question," Maya replied as she navigated back toward a service entrance she knew wouldn't be monitored. "Let's just say I'm tired of watching things die." The alien child studied her face with those unnerving eyes. "You are different from the others." "Others? You mean humans?" "No, the destroyers, the ones you call Galaxians." Maya froze. "You've encountered Galaxians." A wave of fear and grief washed over Maya, emotions not her own. "They destroyed my world too. I am last." Maya felt a lump form in her throat. "Well, that's something we might have in common soon." She managed to slip through the service entrance and navigate the rarely used maintenance corridors. Her quarters were small but private, a privilege of rank in the cramped outpost. Once inside, she gently placed the alien on her cot and activated the medical kit she'd smuggled from the infirmary months ago. "I need to treat your wound," Maya explained, showing the medical scanner. "This won't hurt." The alien trembled but remained still as Maya cleaned and sealed the injury, a deep gash that looked like shrapnel damage. "Thank you," came the thought. "Softer now." "Do you have a name?" Maya asked, finishing the treatment. "Nix." The name arrived with a mental impression of stars shifting in darkness. "I'm Maya." "Maya," Nix repeated, and Maya felt a strange warmth as her name was formed in the alien's mind. "Why do you fight alone?" "We're not alone exactly," Maya said, securing her quarters and checking that her security override on the door would hold. "But we're losing. The Galaxians are too advanced, too ruthless. They want our planet, not our people." Nix's gaze became distant. "Same as my world. They take. They consume. They move on. How did you get here? Are there others of your kind?" Sadness washed over Maya again. "Escaped in small ship. Crashed. All others gone now." Maya sat beside the cot, processing this information. "I'm sorry, Nix." "Why hide me?" Nix asked suddenly. "Your people would want to know." Maya considered the question. "Because they'd lock you up, study you. After everything we've lost to one alien species, many humans wouldn't be kind to another, even one that's just a child." "Not child," Nix corrected. "Young, but warrior in training." The concept came with images of something like a military academy, but focused on mental disciplines rather than physical combat. "A warrior." Maya raised an eyebrow. "Your species doesn't seem built for fighting." Nix's patterns brightened slightly. Maya realized it might be the equivalent of a smile. Not all strength is in muscles and weapons. Before Maya could ask what that meant, her quarters shook with a violent tremor. Alarm sirens wailed throughout the base. "Proximity alert," Maya said, grabbing her rifle. "Something's breached the outer perimeter." "They found me." Nix's thought came with absolute certainty. "The Galaxians. How would they know you're here?" "They hunt my kind above all others. We are their greatest threat." Maya stared at the fragile-looking alien. "You? A threat to the Galaxians?" Another explosion rocked the outpost. Maya's comm unit erupted with frantic voices reporting contact with Galaxian scouts near the eastern perimeter, exactly where she'd found Nix. "All personnel to battle stations." Captain Reynolds' voice cut through the chatter. "This is not a drill." Maya looked at Nix, torn between duty and the strange protectiveness she felt. "I have to go." "Stay here, stay hidden." "I can help," Nix insisted, struggling to stand. "You can barely walk," Maya countered, checking her weapon. "How could you possibly?" She didn't finish the sentence. Nix had placed a delicate four-fingered hand on Maya's rifle. The weapon's energy cell suddenly glowed brighter than Maya had ever seen, and the diagnostic panel showed power levels at 300% capacity. "My people control energy," Nix explained. "Can strengthen your weapons, but must be close." Maya's tactical mind instantly saw the advantage. "Can you boost our shield generators too?" "Yes, with time." Another explosion, closer this time. Maya made her decision. Change of plans, she said, helping Nix to her feet. We're going to the command center, but you stay behind me and out of sight until I say otherwise. Trust me, Nix's thought carried determination beyond the alien's small stature. Together we fight. As they moved through the corridors toward the sounds of battle, Maya felt something she hadn't experienced in years: hope. For the first time since the Galaxians arrived, humanity might have found an ally with the power to turn the tide. What neither of them realized was that this small alien child would become the key to humanity's survival, and Maya Chen, the reluctant guardian, would soon be faced with choices that would determine the fate of both their species. The hidden strength. The command center of Defense Outpost 17 was chaos when Maya arrived, supporting Nix, who was concealed beneath her tactical cloak. Soldiers rushed between stations, while Captain Reynolds barked orders from the central platform. The main display showed 5 Galaxian scout ships converging on their position. "Sergeant Chen, where the hell have you been?" Reynolds demanded when he spotted her. "Eastern sector when the attack began, sir," Maya replied, positioning herself behind a support column to keep Nix hidden. "What's the situation?" "Galaxian advance party, probably testing our defenses before the main force arrives," Reynolds said grimly. "Shield generators are barely holding at 60%. Lieutenant Park, their communications officer, looked up from her console with wide eyes. "Sir, we're receiving a direct transmission from the Lid Galaxian vessel." "That's new," Reynolds muttered. "They usually just shoot. Put it through." The main screen flickered, revealing the face of a Galaxian commander, scales gleaming metallic green, yellow eyes cold and reptilian. When it spoke, the translation system converted its hissing language into stilted English. "Humans of Earth Outpost, you harbor an enemy of the Galaxian Empire. Surrender the Lumari fugitive, and we will spare your lives." Reynolds looked confused. "What the hell is a Lumari?" Maya felt Nix tremble against her leg. "My people," came the frightened thought. "They hunt us because they fear us." Reynolds was already responding. "We don't know what you're talking about. There are only humans at this outpost." The Galaxian commander's eyes narrowed. "Our bioscanners detected Lumari energy signatures near your eastern perimeter. Do not lie to us. You have 1 hour to surrender the fugitive, or we will destroy your outpost and everything within 100 miles. The transmission cut off. Reynolds turned to the room. "Somebody tell me what the hell a Lumari is, and if we got one hiding in my vase." Maya's mind raced. She could feel Nix's fear pulsing against her consciousness. The right thing to do was to report the alien's presence, follow the chain of command. But the Galaxians wanted Nix specifically, which meant the small alien truly was valuable. "Sir," Maya said carefully, "I think we should consider why the Galaxians want this Lumari so badly. If they're willing to negotiate instead of just attacking, it must be important to them." Reynolds gave her a hard look. "What are you suggesting, Sergeant?" "I'm suggesting we use the hour to strengthen our position and prepare a counterattack," Maya replied. "The Galaxians have never offered terms before. This is new behavior, which means there's something they want badly enough to change tactics." Lieutenant Park spoke up. "She's right, sir. And if they're scanning for this alien species, maybe we can use that somehow. Create a false signature to draw them in." Reynolds considered this. "We don't have the technology to fake alien biosignatures. But I can amplify my own," Nix communicated to Maya. "Make them think many Lumari are here." Maya discreetly touched the small alien's shoulder in acknowledgement, then addressed Reynolds. "Sir, I recommend we focus on boosting our shield generators and weapon systems. If we can't avoid this fight, we need every advantage." "Agreed," Reynolds nodded. "Chen, take a team to the shield generator room. Park, coordinate with the weapons platforms. Everyone else, prepare for evacuation protocols if this goes south." As the command center erupted into activity, Maya led Nix through back corridors toward the shield generator complex. "What did you mean about amplifying your signature?" Maya asked once they were alone. Lumari can project energy, Nix explained. Can make myself seem like many. Will confuse their sensors. And why do they fear your kind so much? Nix's mental voice became solemn. Long ago, Lumari and Galaxians shared neighboring systems. They wanted our worlds. We refused. They attacked. We discovered their technology had weakness. What weakness? Their ships, weapons, all connected to central network. Lumari can touch this network. Disrupt it. Maya stopped walking. Are you saying your people can hack Galaxian technology telepathically? Not hack. Join with. Become part of. Redirect energy. The implications were staggering. If Nex could interface with Galaxian systems, it would explain their determination to eradicate the Lumari. It would also explain why they'd launched this smaller attack when they discovered Nex's presence. They feared what even one Lumari could do. That's why they destroyed your world, Maya said softly. You were the only species that posed a real threat to them. Nix's patterns dimmed in sadness. Yes. Now I am last. They reached the shield generator room, where technicians worked frantically to stabilize the failing system. Maya positioned Nix behind a bank of equipment. Stay hidden, she instructed. But if you can do anything to boost these generators. Nix nodded and placed small hands against the machinery. Immediately, the power readings began to climb. The technicians looked at each other in confusion. What's happening? One asked. Don't question good luck, Maya replied. Keep working. Over the next 40 minutes, Nix remained hidden while gradually strengthening the outpost's defenses. Maya coordinated with the teams, keeping herself positioned to shield the alien from view. The shield generators climbed to 120% capacity, beyond their design maximum, while the weapons systems showed similar enhancements. Captain Reynolds contacted Maya over the comm. Chen, I don't know what you've done down there, but keep doing it. 20 minutes until their deadline. That's when Maya had an idea. Nix, she whispered, you said you can confuse their sensors to make it seem like there are more Lumari. Could you make it seem like the Lumari are actually outside the base? Leave them away. Cannot maintain such projection for long, Nix admitted. But yes, possible. Good, Maya nodded. Because I have a plan. When the hour deadline expired, the Galaxian commander re-established contact. This time, Maya stood beside Captain Reynolds in the command center, having briefed him on a heavily edited version of her plan, one that didn't mention the actual Lumari hiding in their midst. Your time is up, the Galaxian announced. Surrender the Lumari or face destruction. Reynolds met the alien's gaze without flinching. We told you, we don't have any Lumari here, but our sensors have detected unusual energy signatures about 20 miles north of our position. Perhaps your fugitive is hiding there. The Galaxian's expression remained unchanged, but Maya could sense its suspicion. You attempt deception. Check your own sensors, Reynolds countered. We've been tracking the signature for the past 30 minutes. On cue, Nix, hidden in an adjacent room with Lieutenant Park, began projecting energy patterns that would register on Galaxian scanners as multiple Lumari signals moving north of the outpost. The Galaxian commander's eyes narrowed as it consulted something off-screen. Interesting. Your primitive technology should not detect Lumari signatures. We've adapted since you started bombing us. Maya interjected. We learn quickly. The commander studied them for a moment longer. We will investigate this anomaly. If you have deceived us, your destruction will be comprehensive. The transmission ended. Reynolds turned to Maya. If they don't find anything out there, they'll be back with reinforcements. I know, sir, Maya replied. But it buys us time to prepare our counterattack. The plan was risky. While the Galaxian scouts investigated the false signatures to the north, the outpost's enhanced weapon systems would target their temporarily unguarded flagship. If they could cripple the command vessel, the smaller scouts would be forced to retreat. 30 minutes later, the Galaxian scouts had moved beyond their defensive formation, searching for Lumari that didn't exist. Captain Reynolds gave the order, and the outpost's missile batteries fired simultaneously, each projectile carrying almost twice its normal energy thanks to Nex's enhancement. The barrage struck the Galaxian flagship with unexpected force, penetrating shields that should have been impenetrable. Secondary explosions bloomed across its hull. Direct hits, Lieutenant Park announced. Their shield generators are failing. But the victory was short-lived. The Galaxian scouts immediately reversed course, and the damaged flagship launched a retaliatory strike. The outpost shuddered as Galaxian energy weapons impacted the shields. Shields holding at 95%, a technician reported with amazement. Maya knew they couldn't maintain this advantage forever. Nyx was already weakening from the combined effort of projecting false signatures and enhancing the outpost's systems. Maya, Nyx's thought reached her, strained and tired. Must do more. Must connect directly with shield system. That's too dangerous, Maya replied mentally, having discovered she could project thoughts back to the Lumari with concentration. You're already exhausting yourself. No choice. They call reinforcements now. Sure enough, long-range sensors detected a much larger Galaxian battle group entering the system. The outpost would never withstand such force. Against her better judgment, Maya slipped away from the command center and found Nyx, now pale and trembling with exertion. What do you need to do? She asked. Take me to Central Core, where human technology meets mountain. Maya realized Nyx was referring to the ancient installation buried deeper within the mountain, the supposed critical infrastructure that justified the outpost's continued operation. Few had clearance to enter that area, but Maya's security override would get them through. Together, they descended to the lowest level of the outpost, where heavy blast doors protected whatever lay beyond. Maya used her override code, and the doors slowly parted to reveal what looked like an archaeological dig more than a military installation. Ancient machinery, clearly not of human design, filled the cavernous space. What is this place? Maya whispered. Old ship, Nyx replied with a sense of recognition. Lumari explorer vessel. Crashed here thousands of years before humans evolved. Maya stared in shock. This is why they built the outpost here. The military found an ancient alien ship. Your leaders found power source, weapons, but could not activate. Not without Lumari. The implications were staggering. Human military had discovered this crashed alien vessel, belonging to Nyx's people, and built an entire outpost around it, trying to reverse engineer its technology. Nyx approached the central column where crystalline structures pulsed with dim light. As the small alien placed both hands on the crystal, the entire chamber hummed to life. Lights flickered on in sequences, and the ancient machinery began to power up. This is why the Galaxians attacked here first, Maya realized. They knew what was hidden beneath the mountain. Yes, Nyx confirmed. They feared humans would find Lumari technology, would become threat. The outpost shook violently as another barrage struck the shields. Alarms blared throughout the complex. Whatever you're going to do it fast, Maya urged. Nyx's body began to glow with the same luminescence as the crystals. I connect ship to your defenses. We'll create, pulse. We'll disable Galaxian technology. But what? Uses all my energy. May not survive. Maya felt her chest tighten. There has to be another way. No time, Nyx insisted. My choice. For my people. For yours. Before Maya could protest further, the ancient ship's systems fully activated. Energy surged through the crystalline network, channeling through Nyx's small body. The Lumari's eyes glowed brilliant white, as power built to impossible levels. In the command center above, Captain Reynolds watched in astonishment as their tactical display showed an enormous energy wave expanding outward from the outpost. When it reached the Galaxian vessels, their systems instantly failed. Weapons, engines, shields all went dark simultaneously. The pulse continued outward, catching the approaching Galaxian battle group as they entered the atmosphere. Massive ships fell from the sky like dead insects, crashing into the wasteland below. Deep in the ancient ship chamber, Maya shielded her eyes from the blinding light surrounding Nyx. When it finally faded, she found the small alien collapsed on the floor, patterns on their skin dim and fading. Nyx. Maya gathered the frail body in her arms. "Stay with me." "Did it work?" came the faintest thought. "Yes, they're all disabled," Maya assured, feeling tears form in her eyes. "You saved us." "Good." Nyx's patterns flickered weakly. "Not last anymore. You continue. Tell others about Lumari. Find survivors." "You're not dying," Maya insisted, carrying Nyx toward the ship's central crystal. "This is your people's technology. There has to be a way to heal you." Driven by instinct, Maya placed Nyx directly against the largest crystal. For a moment, nothing happened. Then slowly, energy began to flow from the crystal into the small alien's body. The patterns on Nyx's skin brightened slightly. Ancient One's help. Nyx's thought was stronger now. Ship has healing chamber, emergency systems. Following Nyx's mental guidance, Maya found a recessed alcove within the ship. When she placed the Lumari inside, crystalline structures enclosed them in a translucent cocoon. "We'll heal," Nyx assured her, "but need time. Long time." "I'll be here," Maya promised, "and I'll make sure no one disturbs you." Later, when Maya returned to the command center, she found Captain Reynolds and the others celebrating their unexpected victory. All Galaxian ships within a 1,000-mile radius had been neutralized. "Chen, what the hell happened down there?" Reynolds demanded. "And don't give me any more half-truths." Maya took a deep breath and made her decision. "Sir, I think it's time I told you about our ally, and about what's really buried under this mountain." As dawn broke over the wasteland, Maya stood at her old observation post, watching the sun rise on a changed world. For the first time in 3 years, no Galaxian ships darkened the sky. Reports were coming in from around the globe. The energy pulse had affected Galaxian technology worldwide, grounding their invasion force. It wouldn't last forever. They would adapt, return with new weapons. But now humanity had time to prepare, and they had the ancient Lumari ship to study. Most importantly, they knew they weren't alone in their fight against the Galaxians. Deep below the mountain, Nyx slept in the healing chamber, gathering strength for the battles to come. And Maya Chen, once the lonely guardian of a forgotten outpost, now stood as the bridge between two species that might together find the strength to survive. Human resilience and alien technology. Perhaps that combination was what the universe had been waiting for all along.